So, you've tried more diets, followed more nutritional protocols, and consumed more wellness content than any generation of women in history. And yet, you're sicker, more confused, more disconnected from your body than ever before. And this isn't your fault, and it's not an accident. Today, I'm going to talk about a video I just saw. I'm not going to talk about the video, but it inspired me because this video was by an economist named Barry, and he was talking about success podcasts, specifically Diary of a CEO, and how they are not actually helping you succeed because they're profiting from keeping you stuck in the cycle of seeking. And the moment I watched this, I was like, oh my God, this is the nutrition industry. It's exactly what has been like, this is exactly what has been done to women and their bodies for decades when it comes to social media. Well, social media hasn't been around for decades, but just in general, the promises of like, this is the diet, this is the quick fix. So today I want to show you the science behind why every nutrition tribe, be it keto, carnivore, intuitive eating, clean eating, Ozempic culture, they're all selling you a one size fits all program for a problem that has never had a one size fits all solution. So I want to expose the machine behind the confusion, and I'm going to show you the science that explains why your body responds differently than anyone else's. And I'm going to tell you what actually works and why your body has never been the problem. So I hope this is helpful. I'm Ariel, I'm an integrative dietitian, and I'm excited to share this with you because the business of the model of nutrition confusion is booming and it's driving me absolutely crazy. So, before we get into this, I want you to understand that the nutrition industry is worth over $250 billion globally. $250 billion. And it does not, just like the medical system, it does not profit from you getting well. It profits from you cycling. It profits from you being confused and frustrated and staying in the loop of trying the next best thing or thinking that like eating this formulated special protein bar is healthier than eating real food. And there is an actual 4-step model, and this is how it works. And once you see this, you literally cannot unsee this. So, step one is create or exploit the anxiety. In other words, you're not thin enough, you're not healthy enough, you're not optimized enough. Hello, biohacking, and your body is the problem, right? Step two is promise a solution. So my protocol has the answer, or the supplement I'm promoting will fix this, or the drug that you should take by Big Pharma will finally control your body. And this specific tribe has it all figured out. And all you have to do is follow their framework and you will thrive too. And then step three is we're going to deliver partial results because this is what's really insidious about it because it works sometimes. It may work for a little bit, it may work for a while, you may lose some weight, you may have better energy, you may even feel better, and then it stops because it was never addressing the root, it was managing the symptom. And when it stops working, you don't question the protocol, you sit there and you think to yourself, I guess I just didn't do it right. I must have not been disciplined enough. I need to try harder. And we especially see this on these extreme diets like keto, carnivore, or even vegan, because you're often removing a lot of ultra processed foods, which naturally you're going to feel better. So you repeat the cycle, you buy the next protocol, you look at the next expert, you buy the next book, you join the next program, and the cycle just keeps going and the industry just keeps profiting. And now we layer on top of that the nutrition influencer space. Like we have these people with massive followings selling these frameworks that they are truly personally and financially invested in. They have supplement lines, they have affiliate deals, they have program sales, they have book deals. The recommendation is never truly independent, and the audience thinks they're getting expert guidance when they're just getting basically an infomercial dressed up as education. I can think of a few of these channels right off the bat right now. But these diet gurus do not solve your confusion. They actually monetize from your confusion. And they need you to stay confused. They need you to come back, to keep buying, to keep believing that you're just like one protocol away from finally cracking the code. Or if you're not doing well, it's some other secret they have that you just need to figure out. And the moment you actually heal and you stop buying into this, that there's literally no business model in that. Like, I personally do not want clients to be reliant on me. I want them to be independent thinkers, to have self-leadership and self-trust in the relationship with food. And we are living through the most documented era of nutrition advice in history. We have more content, more experts, no, more protocols, more drugs than ever, and yet chronic disease just continues to rise. Women are more confused, more hormonally dysregulated than ever. Disordered eating, which is something very close to my heart, is at an all-time high, and this is not a coincidence. And this really breaks my heart because so many women, and I was there for so many years, believing, because these gurus can be very convincing. Even when you have a degree, there's a lot of people with degrees who are down these rabbit holes of these diatribes. And when you do question yourself and you don't suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect, well, then what happens is you end up falling into the same diatribe until you just wake up one day, and hopefully you wake up one day, and you crawl out of it and realize, oh my God, the experts that were the most confident, the ones with the clearest, the formulas and the frameworks, they are consistently the least accurate. And if you watch the video of The Economist that I'm linking below, you will understand, because it's what he calls the hedgehog. The hedgehog is someone who knows one big thing. They have a single central vision and they apply it to everything. Every question has the same answer and every body has the same solution. And the nutrition space is completely overrun with hedgehogs. I think that's kind of a funny thing to think about, actually. So, like, for example, you have the carnivore where like meat heals everything, plants are poison, your ancestors never ate a vegetable, which is just so asinine in and of itself. But anyways, and then you have the keto crowd, and carbs are the enemy, and fat is the answer, and insulin is the villain in every single story. And it's the reason, like, insulin is basically the root of all of our problems. And then you have the extreme intuitive eating taken to an extreme where, oh, all foods are equal. Your body always knows best. And if you have any intentional food choice, then this is diet culture. And then we have the clean eating perfectionism. If it's not organic, if it's not whole, if it's not sprouted, then it's not unprocessed, it's essentially toxic, which is another, like, all of these are absolutely insane. And now we have the drug culture, the Ozempic culture, where the body is the problem to be chemically managed and rapid results are the goal. But we're not really looking at what's happening to the muscle mass. What about the micronutrient status? What about the freaking fertility of these younger women who are going on this? And not to mention the complete disconnection from the body. But what they all have in common is that there is this one central vision that is applied to everyone with enormous confidence, and a tribe forms around this framework. And the louder and more confident that voice gets, even if they're completely off base, the more followers they get. And it's so ironic, but nutrition has literally become a religion complete with these tribes and dogma and heretics. And it's because of the Dunning-Kruger connection. Because the basically the less you know about a subject, the more confident you are. And if you look at a lot of the nutrition gurus and experts, they don't even have a background in nutritional biochemistry, physiology, etc. I mean, there are some that do, but often, unfortunately, if they've gotten a PhD in a specific area, that actually, I've heard this quote before, you call it pilot higher and deeper. Oftentimes, PhDs actually end up just looking for and cherry picking the data that supports the hypothesis, even though that's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. But It's the truth. And then we have the diet success story problem because you have like basically you're just seeing the highlight reel of the people who have done well with this nutrition program. So think about it this way. Here's an analogy. If you looked up a restaurant and looked at the reviews, and this restaurant purposely only showed, not that they can, but let's say they did, 5-star reviews, you would walk in and you would be like, let's say you got your meal and you weren't happy with your meal and everybody else raves about this meal and you're sitting there and you're disappointed and you're like, why, like everybody loved this and like I didn't, so something must be wrong with me because like everybody else thought this was the best food ever. And this is exactly what the diet industry does. You're only ever seeing the highlight reel and the people who it worked for and the transformation photo and the testimonial and the before and after, but you're never seeing all the other people it destroyed along the way. And when it does not work for you, and statistically it probably won't, at least not long term, you don't question the restaurant or the guru. You question yourself. You think maybe I ordered wrong. Maybe I need to go back and try something else. Maybe somebody else just tastes something that I can't taste. And I want you to know that this is not a personal failure. It is literally a curated lie. And basically, in diet culture, every nutrition tribe parades its success stories. You have the woman who reversed her autoimmune condition on carnivore. You have the man who lost 80 pounds on keto. You have the person who completely transformed their energy on the vegan diet. And people study them like they're like the blueprint and trying to understand the magic, but we never hear from the thousands of people who try the exact same protocol and destroy their thyroid, or maybe they end up with hormonal imbalances, or they develop like really orthorexia, or they gain the weight back, and maybe they even gain more back. And these people don't get, publicized. They get blamed for not doing it right, not being disciplined enough, and or even for just being the exception. Because like the actual statistics are 95% of diets or people who go on diets will fail within 1 to 5 years. And the research on this is very consistent because restrictive dieting is one of the strongest predictors of future weight gain. And restrictive dieting is completely unnecessary to get to your goal. It will, yo-yo dieting especially, will damage metabolic function, hormonal health, has an impact on the microbiome. And we really want to highlight that, or we, I, I really want to highlight that there is no one specific way to eat. We have foundations, right? That we all need to eat real whole food. That's a foundation. Most people generally do well with at least, 3 solid meals a day at regular intervals. Building your meal around a quality protein, whether it be plant protein or animal protein, whatever works best for your body, and then adding the appropriate amount of carbs and healthy fats and fruits and vegetables to the diet that your body does well with. Because this is, and the reason, so you probably can see already in this video why this will never go viral, because the truth is really boring. And to really help people figure out what's going to work for them long term, you have to get to know their story, their history, what foundation they are starting from, because the same exact approach can fail different bodies. And this is why I love what I do, because I feel like a scientist when I sit down with my clients and I love to hear their story and really figure out, where are we starting from? What is your goal? And does your goal align with the effort you're willing to put in? Because some women, they're going to want to track. They want to hit these very specific goals, whether it be body composition, et cetera, which there is no shame in that. And then there's other women that are like, I just want to stop thinking about food all the time and learn how to eat and not be so stressed and anxious every time I go down, every time I try to figure out what's the best approach for my body. So we all have different aspirations, different goals. And the bottom line is that It's really not that complicated, but it does take kind of stop listening to all the noise and try to go inward and try to reconnect with your body and start to pay attention. And if you don't like tracking food, keeping a food journal and noting how did you feel after that? The best biofeedback, or sorry, the best biohack is actually listening to your biofeedback and how your body responds to specific foods and food combinations, because we all have different preferences. We all have different genetics and physiology and biochemistry and beliefs, which have a profound impact on basically how we even process the food that we eat. And so I just want you to know that no one out there has your answer. And when you're really working with a true expert, they're not telling you your answer. They're working with you to help you find that answer within yourself. So I hope this video was helpful. I just got fired up after I saw that video. And I have my website linked in the bio or the description if you're interested in setting up a free consultation to see if I can help you. I do accept all major insurance plans in Florida, and I also do take cash pay, and I am reciprocal with some states, including, I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I can list them below. And I really hope you're having a wonderful day, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.